Hello, welcome to the Movie Poster Fan Club, and this is just a video to kind of shout out my favorite posters of the year of 2024. I know it's a little bit late, we're into March of 2025, but you know, better late than never, as they say. And I've decided to just divide my favorite posters of the year into like different categories, just to sort of like have an excuse to talk about a bunch of different types of posters, if you will. We're gonna start with my favorite use of size in poster. Now, this is a category just to highlight sort of ingenuity in how the poster designer uses hierarchy with dimension and bigness and smallness in order to convey a message. And for that, I'm going to talk about this poster that I reviewed once on my channel, Skincare. Haven't seen the movie, haven't really heard much about the movie or whether it's good, but I want to shout out this poster for its great original concept. There are themes of beauty standards and insecurities that are extremely evident on this poster here, but what I want to highlight is the use of size. It's a big close-up of Elizabeth Banks' face juxtaposed with this tiny text in the middle there, and I feel like it doubles as a little blemish on her skin. I think that's really clever. I also really like the type that they use here. I love the script font juxtaposed with the sans serif font for her name. It's a really, really great poster. It's very provocative. Okay, next up we're going to talk about my favorite throwback posters of 2024. Now, I feel like there were quite a few throwback posters that kind of look retro or look like they're made of a style of the past. And I want to highlight two posters. Now, my runner-up in this category, I'll go for Saturday Night. It is very much a throwback to kind of those old illustrated posters of the 70s. I've also talked about this poster in my channel. I think that this style really sells sort of the chaotic nature of the movie. Now, I've seen the movie now, and I think that it is well represented in this poster. This sort of thing of him kind of carrying all these other characters on the weight of his back. It is about Saturday Night Live, which is about an ensemble of weird, eclectic characters portrayed by the many actors in the show. So I think in a way this poster is kind of meta in how it represents Saturday Night Live, as well as how it represents the movie itself that it's trying to sell. So yeah, this is my runner-up though. My favorite throwback poster has to be Day of the Fight. I just think this is just so well done. It's very much a throwback to old sports posters. I'm thinking Rocky. It's right up there, especially with the use of black and white. It's very much of a different era, if you will. Since it's a throwback to old sports movies posters, it uses like kind of a central framed square image surrounded by text. That was really popular in the 70s especially. I really love the use of contrast with the black and the white. Using the silhouette of this character as like a framing device, it is very Saul Bass, if you will. I'm going to do a whole video on Saul Bass, by the way, so keep posted for that. But it's one of my favorite discoveries of last year in that I haven't heard of the movie ever, but I only became aware of this film because of the poster. For my next category, I'm going to talk about my favorite text-heavy poster, and those are posters that kind of use text unsparingly, if you will. And my favorite of such types of posters is this one here for The Room Next Door. Half of this poster is text. What's great about this design is that you sort of start at the top and the words sort of lead you to the essence of the poster, which is Tilda Swinton and Julianne Moore at the bottom there. I also really like how everything's just sort of like a pale tan color, if you will, throughout the poster, and that is reflected also on the text. It creates this very cohesive artwork, if you will. Next up, my favorite documentary posters. Now, this is my runner-up, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, and I also especially wanted to show off this poster because it's my favorite documentary of last year. I thought it was amazing. I love the title design of this poster. It's very, very jazzy, which is very much what the movie's about. If you watch the movie, it's basically like a 2-hour-long video montage of jazz and archival footage. It's quite spectacular. I love the way that the black and white plays with the blue and the yellow. Again, very much calls back to old jazz album covers. But it's not my favorite documentary poster of last year. my favorite documentary poster of last year has to be Between Goodbyes. I love this poster so much. It's just so simple but conceptually intriguing. I haven't seen this documentary, but I think the poster is thematically profound with the way that he's sort of cut out of the of this family portrait. And it's also just very aesthetically inventive. Okay, next up, the category of my favorite characterless poster. That's posters where there isn't like a clear subject, no actors, very much just using either photography or using design to sort of sell the movie. My runner-up in this category is The Brutalist. It's a little bit cheating because you could almost say that the Statue of Liberty herself is a character in this movie. Well, Liberty is a character in the movie. I just really love the Statue of Liberty being upside down. It's a really great shot in the film itself, but it totally represents what the movie is trying to go for. And then on top of that, I just love this type. I love these lines that sort of represent the architecture, blueprint plan, and everything. So great poster. I've already talked about it before on other videos, but my favorite characterless poster of 2024 is April. I actually just came across this poster the other day while I was investigating for this video, but it's just a thing of beauty. Just the way that the dark ruby red contrasts this like pale blue. I think that this is fantastic. I love it. And then of course this concept of having like a piece of paper on top. Like I don't really know anything about this movie, and I guess that the poster itself doesn't do a great job of portraying what this movie's about, but it does do a great job at, like, I don't know, conveying sort of a tone, sort of a spirit, just using conceptual, abstract art to sort of sell to us what the experience of watching this movie might be like. So I think this is a brilliant poster. Okay, next up, my favorite minimalist poster. I don't know how true this is. I feel like there might be other posters in other categories here that are also very minimalist and excellent, and that I might like more. So take these categories with sort of just like as guides, basically, as an excuse for me to talk about these posters. But one of the things I do love about this Matt and Mara poster is its simplicity, is the fact that it's literally just the title, all big, on the poster, white background. You know, we have the different colors, and then a very, very simple line drawing drawn over the text of the characters. What's great about it is its simplicity. It sort of conveys so much by doing so little. And this is, I think, a concept that needs to be really well executed, and it's sort of deceivingly simple. I'm not myself a poster designer, but if I were, I'd see this poster and I'd think like, damn, you know, why didn't I think of this? You know, because it's so simple, and yet it's just so effective. Now I'm going to talk about a category that you might be surprised that I'm bringing up, because I often talk in my videos how much I hate the floating head cliche, and just how lazy I think it is to just put a bunch of characters' heads on the poster. I think it's a thing that has become more and more widespread in like blockbusters. I'm thinking Avenger films, like the Dune film is like egregious. I hate those types of posters. However, occasionally they can look so good. The one that I'm going to highlight here is La Quimera. Now, technically, I think I'm cheating a bit here, because this movie did come out in 2023, so I'm including it in my video because I make the rules. But anyway, it's a friggin' gorgeous poster. I think one of the great things about the use of floating heads in this poster is that the heads, there's a great use of just like size and dimensionality that creates sort of a shape, you know, as if these heads became sort of like a path leading backwards. It's also like seemingly painted. It looks like it was really painted, but you know, maybe just really great software to make photos turn into paintings could also explain it. Not 100% sure, but it does look legit. Just love the use of color. Everything's these sort of warm colors, then contrasting with the font of the title, and I dare anyone to tell me that there was a single font or type in any poster that you saw in 2024 that beats this one used to display Alice Rohrwacher's name. Like, can you freaking believe this? Look at this. I love these sort of swooping lines. It looks like the hair of a woman or something. It's freaking beautiful. So, anyway, love this poster very much so, despite the fact that it is a floating head poster. Okay, next category, my favorite concept design. This is sort of a broad category, if you will, but it's posters that I feel really differentiate themselves from any other poster, that they have sort of a proposition, if you will, that's sort of out there. And again, like I said, like there could be other posters that I even talk about in this very video that technically count as like, you know, concept designs. I'm thinking April, for instance, is like really brilliant concept. But anyway, I have 3 candidates for this category. My third favorite is Universal Language. Now, I named this my second favorite poster of November of 2024, and I still love it. Love it even more now that I've actually seen the movie. The movie itself is my favorite movie of 2024. I loved it. I thought it was genius. It's a really, really funny comedy film that sort of harkens back to Luis Buñuel or Jacques Tati. It's so clever. In second place, I have Crossword. Now, this is a really dope design used to sort of represent a crossword puzzle. I just subscribed to the New York Times in the last few weeks, and so now I've been doing the New York Times crossword every day. And so I like this poster even more now, now that I've become a crossword head. But it's just such a beautiful concept. I like these heads sticking out of these crossword puzzles is just like so unique, such an original idea, using the clue format to have this sort of tagline, death is more than a 5-letter word. That's just so clever, you know. I've never heard of this movie, yet I am dying to see it because of this poster, and that's what great design is all about, right? But my number one has to be Kinds of Kindness. I've talked about this poster before. I did a whole video breaking down Kinds of Kindness posters, so if you want to check that out, I recommend checking out that video. It's like a headshot almost. And the face is completely obstructed by these little tiny images of the different characters in the movie. The use of color is really brilliant as well, where it's just Emma Stone and brown for a lot of it, but then those little flashes of green, orange, blue, red really just give it a little bit more texture. In many ways, this was the poster that inspired me to create this channel, because I saw it and I was like, I want somebody to kind of break it down for me. I want somebody to be talking about this, because I just thought it was just a freaking brilliant work of art. So yeah, that's my take. It's my favorite concept design of 2024. Okay, favorite horror posters. Now, there were a ton of horror posters that I really loved from 2024. So I have 4 finalists. My third runner-up is Drop. I love this poster. It really just makes me think of like a pulpy thriller from like the 70s. You know, there's something very classic about it while also being very modernist with its cell phone. I don't know, it's such a simple design. It's something that somebody could have like legitimately made in like a Word or something. I look at this poster and I think, man, I would legitimately want this poster on my wall. Well, I was preparing for this video yesterday, and this poster reminded me of like a Brian De Palma film, like just in its feel. And so last night I ended up watching a Brian De Palma film, just inspired by this poster, because I saw this poster and I was like, I want to live there. My third favorite horror poster of 2024, so my second runner-up, is The Dead Thing. I just love the use of color here. Blue background with her pink lips and the yellow text. It's just like, utilizing all the primary colors here. It's very, very simple in that it's just one great big photo and just some text that's like kind of small right in the middle. It's not too imposing, a lesser poster designer could have taken this text and made it big to kind of like scare you and telling you this is a scary movie, but like they don't do that. My second favorite horror poster of 2024 is Smile 2. Such a really cool concept with the blinds and like a face being sprawled across. This is like a very terrifying poster to me. I really love this poster. And then we even get Jack Nicholson's son sort of parodying Jack Nicholson's evil smile from The Shining onto this poster. It's just really, really cool. But my favorite has to be Long Legs. It's easily the scariest poster that I've seen of 2024. It's like brilliantly simplistic concept that is also like quite terrifying. I think like of the graininess of the whole thing, not just in his character, but also just like there are just little cuts and scratches throughout this poster that add to that sort of eeriness. And then to that, obviously, like monochromatic color scheme, the black and the red is a really great choice of color to really kind of terrify an audience. I think also just the fact that you're just able to identify Nicolas Cage in this sort of really, really fuzzy picture, but his eyes are pitch black, like that really adds to the fear of this poster. So yeah, my favorite horror poster of 2024. Okay, next up, my favorite sci-fi posters of 2024. Now, my runner-up is Things Will Be Different. Some of the best use of lighting in any poster that I've seen this year. I just kind of love this sort of like yellow and blue immediately tells you sci-fi, and you sort of see the blue light sprawling across the floor there. The really bright light in the center creating the silhouette of our two characters right in the middle. And I also love how the pattern of the lines in this keyhole sort of depict a sort of portal, like a never-ending portal that kind of leads into this white light. But at the same time, those same lines on the bottom end of the key also double as stairs for our character. Like, that's just a really, really cool concept. In first place, and this one could have gone into the horror as well, but I thought it fit a bit more into sci-fi. I'm not sure. I think also because the poster itself is a bit more sci-fi. I went with I Saw the TV Glow. It was also one of my favorite movies of last year. I thought it was really transcendental, really kind of sucks you in. And this poster does the same thing too. The black really does kind of consume all the subjects that are very much on this like very vertical section of this poster. Everything around it just sort of kind of consumes our character, consumes the text. It does very much capture the essence of the movie, I think. Love the use of negative space as well. Probably one of my favorite uses of black in any poster this year. And speaking of the use of black, my favorite use of black in any poster probably would be I Saw the TV Glow, neck and neck with Anora. I love the use of black in Anora. I just wanted an excuse to talk about this poster because I think I gave it an A when I first reviewed it, but little by little it sort of climbed up in my rankings, especially after I saw the movie, after I saw a lot more posters of Anora come out with the Oscars and everything. This poster sort of just kept coming up and I just kept kind of being more and more drawn into it. Really beautiful, but I wanted to talk about the use of black because it's actually really quite clever. You can't distinguish what she's really wearing. Like you can technically, if you look close enough, you can tell that there's like a black kind of mink coat going on there. But it's so subtle. And the reason that you are able to immediately tell what she's wearing is because of how the fur sort of like creates an edge around her skin there. How do you reconcile the blackness of the background with what she's wearing? I think that like the poster designer realized it doesn't really matter that her coat is black if you can already distinguish the texture of the coat based on how it looks on her skin. So I think that's really, really clever. It's a clever way of having the whole poster still remain black, but you still get those context clues of what you're looking at. Same with her hair. Like her hair is black as well, right? but they add these kind of pink streaks into her hair so that you can clearly distinguish her hair from the background. So I just think that it's just a really clever use of black in the foreground and black in the background, and sort of them playing with each other a little bit, all for the purpose of highlighting Anora's character. So it's just really, really clever stuff, and the more time that's passed, I've kind of grown to appreciate this poster even more. My next category is favorite posters based on a single photograph. Now, I think that with Anora, with a lot of these posters that might be based on a single photograph, but there's very clear like design involved in making it look the way it does. And I wanted to highlight those posters that just really relies on the power of one image and one photograph. And my runner-up here is the piano lesson. I think this photo is so great. I think one of the best things about this is the fact that, like, obviously the piano is the focus, really, because this is about a piano lesson, right? It's in the title. But the space that the piano occupies is so small in the grand scheme of the poster. And it's the effects of its fire and all that smoke that comes out of it. That's what takes up all that room. There's like all this really great overhead space that sort of shows kind of like the greatness of the effects of the piano rather than the greatness of the piano itself. And I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but I can only imagine that it's sort of representative of its themes. Obviously, on like the surface, very provocative, a piano on fire, you know? But that's not my favorite. My favorite poster based on a single photograph is Evil Does Not Exist. I mean, look at that. I think just on a pure aesthetic basis, it must be like the most beautiful poster of 2024, right? Just like the use of color. Now, like obviously, compared to the piano lesson poster, I imagine this poster had more intervention from like a Photoshop just to like get those colors to really pop the way that they do. So I'm not knocking it. It makes it better, but like it might be a little bit cheating in the sense that like the other one's a bit more representative of like what the power of a single photograph can do. And this one, I imagine, like for instance, that deer could very well have been like photoshopped on. Nevertheless, it is based on, you know, one singular photo, and it's really powerful. It's definitely one of the most beautiful posters of 2024. As a final treat, I want to share with you guys my 3 favorite posters of 2024. I've already talked about these posters in this video, but just, you know, to put on the record what my absolute favorites are. And before I do, thank you so much for watching this, and please like and subscribe to the video and comment below what your favorite posters were of 2024. My 3rd favorite poster of 2024 is Kinds of Kindness. I couldn't deny it. I mean, it is the icon for my channel currently. My number 2 is La Quimera. Again, maybe cheating. And if it is cheating, if there's someone out there who's nitpicky enough to say, well, no, this poster came out end of 2023, shouldn't count for 2024, then I'll probably have Evil Does Not Exist as my 3rd place, Kinds of Kindness as my 2nd place. Lastly, my favorite poster of 2024 has to be April. Just